My husband left for his work wife. Help. Hey Reddit. First-time poster, long-time lurker. Needed a place to vent and maybe snag some free therapy because, wow. Life really said, plot twist, on me. A while back, my husband left me. It seemed out of nowhere. One minute we're planning vacations, the next he's telling me he's just not happy anymore and packing a bag. No big fights, no screaming matches, just this weird, hollow sadness between us that I couldn't quite touch. I thought maybe it was a phase. Stress. Burnout. You know, normal life stuff. Spoiler, it wasn't. Fast forward a few weeks. I'm still reeling, doing the ugly crying in the shower thing, when one of my best friends, let's call her Kelsey, hits me with the, I can't really talk to you right now because it feels like you're using me to spy on him, speech. Mind you, this is someone I got a job with him. Same department, same floor. We used to double date with her and her husband. Vacations, backyard BBQs, drunk karaoke nights. She was the first person I called sobbing when he said he was leaving. And now? Radio silence. But oh, she still somehow had the emotional bandwidth to hang out with him and her husband every weekend like clockwork. Meanwhile, I'm getting her one-word texts once a month, if that. After about 4 months of limping through this mess, trying to stay friends, while getting nothing back, I torched that bridge. Full-on flamethrower mode. Texted her basically saying, lose my number. I wish I could say it felt good, but it didn't. It just felt necessary. Also, I should mention, for about a year before this, I had a gnawing pit in my stomach about their friendship. Nothing concrete, just that prickly, gut feeling you get when something's off. I even dragged my insecure, overthinking but to therapy to work on it. Tried pulling back from our group hangs, giving them less access to my life. Told myself I'm just being crazy. Turns out, I wasn't crazy. I was correct. So, life moves on, right? Or at least it's supposed to. I'm deep in my healing era, therapy twice a month, getting back into yoga, even flirting with the idea of adopting a cat I'm wildly allergic to. You know, new beginnings. I'm doing alright, or pretending well enough. Then, 7 months after the divorce papers are signed, the universe decides to kick me square in the teeth. It's my birthday weekend, the one I've celebrated the same way every year since I was 8. Same little Italian place, same group of friends. It's supposed to be comfort food for my soul. Instead, it turns into a live episode of Cheaters. We walk in, joking around, and bam. Right there, in a booth by the window, is my ex-husband. And guess who's sitting across from him, giggling into her wine glass? Yep. Kelsey. No husband in sight. No group dinner. Just the two of them, cozy and tucked away like a scene from a bad rom-com. I froze. My friends froze. Even the damn server froze. And then, get this. The second they spot me, they literally abandon their half-eaten food, toss cash on the table like it's a crime scene, and run. Full sprint. Out the front door, straight into his truck, tires screeching out of the parking lot like they robbed the place. A work dinner, they said. Sure. My birthday dinner just happened to be the set for their totally innocent business meeting. The server, bless his messy heart, leaned over and said, was that a date or a drug deal? 'Cause it wasn't business. I laughed. Then I cried in the bathroom for 45 minutes. Shout out to waterproof mascara. Because here's the thing, I didn't even want him back. I was done. Over it. What gutted me was the betrayal. Not from him, from her. My best friend. My shoulder to cry on. The person who told me she loved me like a sister. And now? She's running from me like I'm the villain in her story. After the great birthday debacle, I spent 2 days going full FBI. I wasn't proud of it. But something inside me just needed the truth spelled out in giant neon letters. Needed to see it plain so I could stop gaslighting myself. So I could stop wondering if maybe I was just crazy, or insecure, or jealous, or all the awful words they made me think about myself for so long. I started thinking about all the little things. How she pulled away right when he left. How she said she couldn't talk to me because it made her feel like a traitor. How they spent weekends together, with the group, but somehow I wasn't invited anymore. Funny how all the pieces clicked when I looked at them without the rose-colored glasses. It got to the point where every memory of her felt like chewing glass. So I made a choice, I lit the match. I sent her one final text, a novel, honestly, laying it all out. No accusations, no name-calling. Just the facts. I told her how hurt I was. How betrayed I felt. How deeply disappointing it was to realize that, after 7 years of friendship, she couldn't even be honest with me. And then I ended it with, "I hope the life you chose brings you the happiness you stole from me." Then I blocked her on everything. Phone, socials, email, even Venmo. Because yes, petty closure counts. I cried for about an hour after that. Not for her, for the girl I used to be, the one who thought loyalty meant something. I thought that would be the end of it. Rip the band-aid off, scream into the void, move on. But nope, turns out Karma had a few plans of her own. A few weeks later, I heard through mutuals that Kelsey and her husband were separating. Apparently, things started unraveling fast after my little parking lot scene. Guess her husband didn't love finding out he'd been playing third wheel to his own marriage. Part of me felt vindicated. A bigger part felt sad. He was, and probably still is, a good man. The kind of man who didn't deserve the hurricane that blew through his life wearing expensive perfume and a fake smile. I thought maybe, finally, the universe had closed the book on this dumpster fire. But life, being the messy bitch it is, wasn't quite done yet. Just when I thought I had finally exorcised these two demons from my brain, I heard the weirdest thing through the grapevine. Apparently, my ex-bestie had found religion. Like, not just, go to church on Easter, religion, I'm talking Bible study, Instagram quotes about forgiveness, posting selfies with captions like, saved by his grace. It was so bizarre it almost didn't compute. This was the same girl who used to call people, Jesus freaks, behind their backs when we were friends. The same girl who once proudly declared she'd never date a guy who prayed at dinner because it gave her the ick. Now she was out here cosplaying as the Virgin Mary. At first, I laughed. Honestly, it felt cartoonish. Like a bad movie plot. But then, slowly, the anger started to creep back in. Because it wasn't just her. He had done the same thing. 3 months after he walked out on me, my ex told mutual friends he had found forgiveness and made peace with the past, all through church. Meanwhile, I was still waking up in cold sweats, wondering why I wasn't good enough. It felt like they got to hit a magic reset button while I was still crawling through broken glass, trying to piece myself back together. I started spiraling a little, not gonna lie. How dare they? How dare they cause all this damage, leave a trail of broken promises and broken people, and then just hide behind God and call themselves healed? Where was my reset button? Where was my shortcut to peace? I wrestled with it. Hard. 4 months. Because I wasn't just mad at them anymore. I was mad at the universe. Mad at myself for still caring. Mad at every sermon I sat through as a kid about turning the other cheek when I wanted to punch a wall. And the worst part? The absolute kicker? Even after all the betrayal, even after cutting every tie and torching every bridge, I still sometimes found myself lying awake at night, wondering. Were they actually happy? Did they ever feel guilty? Or was I the only one left dragging the weight of it behind me? Healing isn't linear, they say. Well, mine looked more like a scribble a toddler made with a Sharpie after 3 Red Bulls. I wanted to let it go. God, I wanted to so badly. But every time I thought I had finally set it down, some new piece of gossip would float into my inbox, and the rage would spark all over again. It was like trying to put out a wildfire with a teaspoon. At some point, I realized the anger wasn't about them anymore. It was about me. What I lost. What I gave, and what I didn't get back. And honestly, it wasn't even about wanting them to suffer, okay, maybe it was a little, at first. It was about wanting acknowledgement. A simple, undeniable confirmation that yeah, they kept up. That I wasn't crazy. That my pain was real. But here's the hard, shitty truth nobody tells you when you're trying to heal. You don't always get that. Sometimes, the apology never comes. Sometimes, they just move on. And you're left holding the pieces of a life that doesn't even exist anymore. So I did the only thing I could. I stopped waiting. Stopped hoping for a justice that would never come. Stopped asking questions that would never get answered. I started focusing on the people who stayed. The friends who pulled me out of bed when I couldn't move. The family who never once said, "I told you so," even when they probably should have. The tiny moments of peace, a good cup of coffee, a deep laugh that caught me off guard, a random sunny afternoon that didn't feel so heavy. Healing didn't look like a dramatic movie montage. It looked like showing up to my own life again, piece by piece. Some days I still think about it. Still wonder if they're together, if they sit in church pews holding hands, pretending there's some holy love story. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Maybe it doesn't ***king matter. Because the life I'm building now? It's one they can't touch. A life where I am the main character. Where I don't have to look over my shoulder, wondering if the people I love are betraying me when I'm not looking. Sometimes when I think about forgiveness, I realize it's not about them at all. It's about giving myself permission to stop bleeding for people who would have watched me die without blinking. I don't forgive them because they deserve it. I forgive them because I deserve peace. And when those little angry thoughts creep in, because they still do, sometimes, I remind myself. They can hide behind whatever they want. God. Each other. They're half-baked lies. But I don't need to hide behind anything. I survived it. I survived them. And that's the story worth holding on to.